Hi, folks. This is Jan. This is episode 3 of the Jan Files, where I'm reading the big, beautiful bill so you don't have to. This section is on education. Please, if you're a parent, listen up. It's really important if you have kids that are either going to college or in college, or if you also have a student loan. So let's talk about what's first. First, the eligibility to apply for these student loans is dramatically cut. Right now, it's American citizens, it's also green card holders, but it's also refugees who are here legally, asylees who are here legally, and also anybody who has, been a victim of human trafficking or domestic violence and who are here legally can also apply. So that goes away. It's only American citizens and green card holders. Okay, first. Second, there is something called the cost of attendance. Now, the cost of attendance falls within FAFSA, which is one of the worst acronyms in the world. FAFSA stands for Pre-Application for Federal Aid. Now, when you have a kid going to college, you go to the FAFSA and you fill it out. You give all your information as a parent about, your income, your debt, your ownership, etc., of assets. And you give all that in, and then you get back at what they call an SAI, a Student Aid Index. And then based on that is when you get your Pell Grant, which can be up to $7,000 and change. You can also, it's also about what you get for unsubsidized loans and subsidized loans. It factors in, obviously, into your Parent Plus loan. Or for those graduate students, it would factor into your graduate student loan, Graduate Plus loan. That is gone. Not that there's not a student aid index, but the way they calculate it is totally different. Right now, it's based on the cost of attendance, which is a COA. It is, let me just be really clear, it includes tuition, fees, housing, books, and personal expenses. That's all factored in. The big, beautiful bill adjusts that's definitions and limits. It makes a totally different calculation. And what that calculation is called, median cost metrics, is what they're going to use to determine what is available for your student. So what that means is they're going to take a look at all the programs around the country. If your daughter is studying voice, let's just say vocal performance, they're going to take a look at all those programs around the country, and they're going to come up with a median, okay, and say, okay, this program may be 80,000, but this program is 30,000, and they're going to come up with a median, okay? I know I keep saying okay, but it's not okay. It's staggering, the difference in what they're doing. So what that could mean, that instead of your aid being based on your kid needing to cover $60,000 in loan in costs, that number could come down to 35. In other words, because it's going to be based on all programs, not the program your child is applying to. And after that, before you get a dime, they're going to calculate, if you go, let's say for vocal performance, they're going to calculate how much you're going to make in the 3 years after graduating. They're going to come up with that number. Again, I'm assuming from, data from states and statistics about what those graduates end up doing and getting paid for. If that debt to income ratio is less than what a high schooler makes, then you are not going to get any aid or assistance. You won't be eligible for loans, federal loans, and you won't be able to for federal grants, period. So if you're an artist, a fine artist, you're a singer, who everyone knows, an actor, that it often takes you doing other kinds of work to make your dreams come true after college. you're not going to be able to do that. Because what I mean by you're not going to be able to do that, you're not going to be able to go to school with help from the government. That's going to go away. So hear me, that's going away if those calculations don't turn out the way you want them to. It's completely different than the system now. There was no need to quantify what you're going to make later. It was about what you wanted to do and how you wanted to educate yourself. So in essence now, they're saying to you, hey, if you want to be a fine artist and you want to go to school and you have no guaranteed income after that, forget it. We're not gonna help you. Got it? So that is a huge change. Also, what is current is we have what they call Parent Plus loans, and they have Grad Plus loans, which is part of the federal loan system where parents can take out loans for their kids. The parents are responsible. That is going away. And the requirements for that are far different than if you go for a private loan. There's also, within that federal system, there's also the eventual possibility for forgiveness, though under this plan that's not likely. But there is still that potential for forgiveness under a Parent Plus loan. And there's also a Graduate Student Plus loan. Both those are gone. They don't exist anymore. So whatever other needs you have to cover your child's expenses, if you need to take a loan out, that is no longer available. And a good, for instance, 25% of New Yorkers, where I live, 23% of parents take out a loan for their kids. That's a huge number. The other thing that's changing, there have been ways to, in the past, to, if you paid for a certain amount of time, the save program, other programs, if you paid your loan for 10 years, didn't miss a payment, basically at that point, the loan itself is paid off, and you're just paying interest. Loans have been forgiven. That's not going to happen anymore. There also was, when you were paying back your loan, a lot of people have what they call IDR, and that's what it is a payment system that is based on your income, so that they're allowing for your income could go up, it could go down, but so there's a reasonable number there so that it doesn't wipe you out. So maybe now you're paying $300 a month. That's going away. Even if you're in the program now, it's going away, and the amount you have to pay will be much, much higher than that because they're not going to factor in your income. Also, right now, there's a way, if you falter in your loan, there's a way to make you whole. That is going away. So there are more things here, especially for those of you who are already in the loan system, that should really pay attention to. The other thing that's going away is public service loans. So in the past, if you took a job in public service, that after a certain period of time, and let me see if I can, so your loan goes away after 10 years of qualifying payments. So that is gone too. There is no public service application in terms of your loan and in terms of how you pay it back now. So let me just scour my notes a little bit. Okay, so there are, obviously, we've talked about Pell Grants, but that number is dramatically going to change about people who are able to get them. First of all, part-timers, if you're less than, half credits, if you're working and you're trying to go to school, and right now you can get a Pell Grant. Under the current, what's going to happen next is you can't. If you're less than 50% of your time is not in school, then you can't get any aid to help you. Now, you can get aid if you do what they call a workforce program. And that is for people that want to take certificate programs, programs that last, I think, no longer than 15 weeks. And so the money that is allocated for that is just like Pell Grant. And they're going to make sure that those people have the ability to go to school without any of the other conditions of people who are wanting to go to college, a 4-year school. None of the other conditions. And they said that they're prioritizing that money that's allocated versus the other money that's allocated for Pell. So for 4-year students. So now if for some reason there is a shortage in the money for Pell, they're going to take it out of the group, the monies that are allocated for colleges. They want to reinforce the workforce program. I could make a lot of comments about that. I'm not going to. I think you need to think about it and see what it is they're trying to tell us. Education, I think these other programs are wonderful and they really are needed in terms of kids who for college is not what they want to do. No problem. But looking at this and looking how hard they're going to make it for a lot of people to go to school should make us question what and why they are doing this. That's the end of this one. Stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe. There's that subscribe button down there if you're watching it on YouTube. Subscribe because this way you'll know when the other videos will pop up. I've got a lot more to go, but it's really important, folks, to be informed. Thanks.